Hey folks, today we're going to be talking about when mistakes happen. What do you do about it? I don't care how long you've been in marketing, you're probably going to experience a couple big mistakes that have happened in your career. And as you start managing teams, it is what it is, right? Mistakes are going to happen. That could be, hey, you were running a big event and something happened at the sign-up line and it reached across the street and a lot of people were unhappy. Or maybe, you launched a new website and there was a problem. Maybe there was a copy error right on a very prominent place. These mistakes are going to happen. I'm going to walk you through the strategy I use, which was a little piece of advice my dad gave me that has saved my bacon many a time. All right, let's go into it.
SaaS CMO Pro.
All right, thanks for joining, guys. My name is Bill Macaitis. I'm the former CMO CRO at Slack. Before that, I was the CMO at Zendesk, and before that, SVP of Marketing at Salesforce. I bring over 30 years of pretty much working pure play online companies. And today's topic, we're going to be diving into when a mistake happens, or maybe when shit hits the fan, because it does happen sometimes. And, like I said, in marketing, it is what it is. This is going to happen. But this is something I think that could really apply to anyone, right? Like no matter what kind of function you work in. So I got this piece of advice from my dad. He used to work for the Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, which is a fancy way of saying they made sure all the water came in, that it was clean, that it had a place to go when it rained. And he worked in government for his entire life, right? And in government, you can imagine a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of politics, and a lot of finger pointing when stuff doesn't go right.
What the hell happened up there, Jim? Why were we attacked?
And so he would tell me, he's like, hey, when you're sitting around, he'd be in these long meetings, right? Where, it just kind of go around and we'd be talking about stuff and he'd be like, eventually someone would mess up, right? Or something happened and everyone's like, what are you doing? They're wrong, this or that. And so the strategy he kind of developed was when that would happen and, it was him or his team was the one that there was a mess up on, he would do 3 steps for it. So the first step was just, hey, acknowledge that it happened. Right? Hey, we made a mistake. It's okay. You can say it. We made a mistake. Here's what happened, right? So he would detail out, this is, boom, boom, boom. This is the series of circumstances that led to this mistake happening. The second step he would say is, hey, here's what we're doing to make sure this doesn't happen again in the future. We're going to map out, we're going to be doing this, we're going to put in this additional process step, we're going to make sure this safety thing is here, whatever it is. Just talk about hey, how this is not going to happen again. And then the third step, he would just simply ask hey, are there any more questions on this? And he said normally what happened is, they'd be like, okay. And then someone else, they move on to a different topic, right? And I think it's really important. I've seen this in, my personal life. Sometimes when I work with a contractor or something, they're working on our house and a mistake happens and either one, they won't admit that hey, they messed up and this happened here. They'll just kind of hide it.
He'll sweep this whole thing under the rug.
Or 2, sometimes they'll tell me, but not really tell me hey, well, here's what we're doing to make sure this doesn't happen again in the future. And I think it's a really simple 3-step formula, but I don't know, give this a chance. Try it out. Or actually, I'd be really curious to hear from you guys. How do you deal with that when something goes wrong on your team? When that hits the fan, how do you deal with it? You're in that board meeting, you're in your next exec staff meeting, it comes up, what are the strategies you use? So anyway, thanks for joining today. I hope that helps you guys out, and I'd love to hear from you guys about what you do. Thanks so much.